Let me ask you something. Think about the last time you said to yourself, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I lose the weight, when I find the right person, when I hit that number in my bank account. Now tell me, did it work? Did you get the thing and stay happy? Because here's what nobody tells you: the pursuit of happiness might be the very thing destroying it. And I'm not being poetic. The science backs this up. Studies show that people who consciously and actively pursue happiness end up feeling lonelier, emptier, and more frustrated than people who never made it their goal. So today, we're going to break down one of the most counterintuitive truths in all of human psychology: the paradox of happiness. Stay with me. By the end of this video, the way you think about happiness will never be the same. Part 1: The Happiness Trap. From the moment we're old enough to understand the world, we're handed a formula. Work hard, get the thing, feel happy, get good grades, get into a good school, land a great job, buy the house, find the partner, hit the milestone, and somewhere along the way, happiness became a destination, a finish line, something you earn. But here's the problem with finish lines. After a Saturday, there's always another one. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You're running hard and you're getting nowhere. Here's how it works. You want something badly, you get it, you feel a rush, excitement, relief, joy, and then within weeks, sometimes days, it fades and you're back to baseline neutral. And suddenly, the thing that was supposed to make you happy just feels normal, expected, not enough. So you set a new goal, you chase a new high, and the treadmill keeps spinning. Think about your first salary. Remember how much it felt like? Now think about how quickly that became not enough. That's the treadmill. We adapt to everything. The new car smell fades. The dream apartment becomes just your apartment. The relationship that once gave you butterflies becomes routine. This isn't pessimism. This is biology. Our brains are wired to want more, not to appreciate what is. And so we keep chasing, and happiness keeps running. Part 2: What science actually says. Now let's get into the research, because this isn't just philosophy. Scientists have been studying this paradox for decades. In 2011, psychologist Iris Mouse conducted a landmark study. She found that the more people valued happiness, the more they made it a conscious goal, the less happy they actually became. Why? Because when you're constantly monitoring your happiness, you're creating a gap, a standard. And every moment that doesn't meet that standard feels like failure. Imagine watching yourself try to laugh at a joke. The moment you're aware of it, it stops being funny. Happiness operates the same way. Observation kills the experience. Then there's Tal Ben-Shahar, a Harvard professor who coined the term arrival fallacy. The belief that when you arrive at a destination or a goal and achievement of a milestone, you will finally feel complete. But arrival never delivers what we imagined, because the joy was never in the destination. It was in the direction. And perhaps the most powerful insight comes from Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist, Holocaust survivor, and author of Man's Search for Meaning. He watched people in the most unimaginable conditions, people who had every reason to give up, and he noticed something extraordinary. The ones who survived weren't the strongest. They were the ones who had meaning, a reason, a purpose beyond themselves. Frankl wrote that happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue. It's a side effect of living a meaningful life. Then there's the work of Csikszentmihalyi and his concept of flow, that state where you are so fully absorbed in what you're doing. That time disappears. You're not thinking about whether you're happy. You're not monitoring anything. You're just in it. And that state is where happiness quietly lives. And the Stoics knew all of this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they all pointed to the same truth. Happiness is not found in external circumstances. It is built internally through how you think, what you value, and how you show up, regardless of what life throws at you. The science and the philosophy agree. Happiness is a byproduct, not a goal. So why does chasing happiness make it worse? Let's break the paradox down. Have you ever tried to force yourself to fall asleep? You're lying there, eyes closed, telling yourself, sleep, sleep, sleep. And the harder you try, the more awake you become. The effort itself is the obstacle. Happiness works exactly the same way. The moment you make it an objective, something to be measured, monitored, and achieved, you step outside the experience. You become an observer of your own life instead of a participant. And observers don't fully feel things, they analyze them. Now let's talk about pleasure versus fulfillment, because we confuse these two constantly. Pleasure is immediate. It's the dopamine hit, the sugar rush, the scroll, the drink, the quick win. It feels like happiness in the moment, but it's short, it fades fast, and often it leaves you feeling emptier than before. Fulfillment is different. It's slower. It comes from effort, growth, contribution, and connection. It doesn't always feel good in the moment too, but it builds into something that lasts. That is the texture of real happiness. The Buddhist tradition has a word, upadana, which means attachment or clinging. And the teaching is simple. Suffering comes not from pain, but from clinging to pleasure. The moment you grasp at happiness and say stay, it slips through your fingers. And we see this everywhere in real life. The workaholic who sacrifices everything for success and arrives at the top feeling completely hollow. The perfectionist who can never enjoy what they built because it's never quite good enough. The people pleaser who bends themselves into shapes trying to make everyone around them happy and quietly loses themselves in the process. All of them chasing, all of them exhausted, all of them wondering why the thing they worked so hard for feels so empty. The paradox is this: the more desperately you need to be happy, the less able you are to feel it. Part 4: What to do instead. So if chasing happiness is the problem, what's the answer? Here's what actually works. Number 1, stop auditing your happiness. Quit the daily check-in of, am I happy right now? That question is a trap. The moment you ask it, you've already stepped outside the experience and started measuring it. And measurement creates a gap between where you are and where you think you should be. Instead, just live, engage, show up, stop keeping score. Number 2, pursue meaning, not happiness. Ask yourself a different question. Not what will make me happy, but what matters to me. What do I want to build? Who do I want to become? What problems do I want to solve? When you orient your life around meaning, happiness stops being something you search for and starts being something that follows you. Number 3, get radically present. Happiness doesn't live in the future. It doesn't live in the goal you haven't reached yet. It lives in this moment, the conversation you're having, the work you're doing, the meal in front of you. Research consistently shows that a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. The practice of presence, whether through mindfulness, deep work, or simply putting the phone down, is one of the most direct paths to genuine well-being. Number 4, embrace discomfort. This one is counterintuitive but critical. We are conditioned to avoid discomfort, but discomfort is where growth lives. And growth, real, earned growth, is one of the deepest sources of human satisfaction. Don't chase comfort, chase progress, the hard workout, the difficult conversation, the creative project that scares you. On the other side of that discomfort is a version of you that feels genuinely alive. Number 5, invest in connection. This one has the most robust data behind it. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest running studies on human happiness ever conducted, spanning over 80 years, found one thing above all else that predicted a long, happy life. Not wealth, not fame, not achievement, relationships, deep, real, reciprocal human connection. The people who felt most connected to others were happier, healthier, and lived longer. Full stop. So if you want to be happier, don't optimize your productivity. Call a friend. Show up for someone. Build something with people, not just for yourself. Close. So let's come back to where we started. I'll be happy when... What if that sentence is the problem? What if happiness was never at the end of that sentence, but woven into the life you're living right now if you'd only stop running long enough to feel it? Happiness isn't a destination. It's not a reward. It's not something you find at the finish line. It finds you when you're living with meaning, showing up with presence, growing through discomfort, and loving the people around you. Stop chasing it. Start living it, and it will catch up. If this hit different, drop a comment below. I want to know, are you chasing happiness or are you living it? If this is the kind of content that makes you think, hit subscribe. We drop videos every week designed to help you understand yourself and the world a little better, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. You might change their whole perspective. See you in the next one.